Welcome back to SpeterTV. The Lion King. This one. It's always been one of my favorite movies, and it still is. And that being the case, you might think I'd have some pretty strong opinions about the remake. Yeah, I don't. I really don't. Or more really, I have some strong opinions one direction, then strong opinions another direction, and it sort of just neutralizes itself out. Like, for one, aesthetically, I just think it looks great. And, I think everyone does. And watching the trailer, seeing it, hearing James Earl Jones again, it really does hype me up when I'm watching it. And then as soon as it's over, all I think is, but why? Like, other than money, why is this thing a thing? What does this have to add to the original story? Do you change the story? Because judging by the trailer, which was pretty much shot for shot the same as the original trailer, that doesn't really seem to be what's going to happen here. And if you did, would people be okay with you changing such a classic story? Especially in any sort of significant or especially noticeable way. But if you don't change anything, what's gonna be the point in seeing this when you already have the original that holds up really well? Like, take Beauty and the Beast, sort of in both directions here. Most of the criticisms that I heard of the live action version were that it was either just doing the same thing but worse, or changing up things in ways that didn't add anything. So is the answer just to improve on the story? Because with The Lion King, I don't really see that happening in too many ways. Now, I can't speak for The Jungle Book because I didn't see it. I haven't seen any version of The Jungle Book, actually. So I can't really give you the fullest explanation of how things have gone in the past with Disney's live action remakes, but I'm just especially confused about this one. For one, The Jungle Book was live action because it had one kid and a bunch of CGI. This one, this was the only Disney story without any reference to humans. This is not live action. Like, unless my cousin Mikey keeps blowing up to the point where they just throw him on screen, this is not going to be live action. Go follow my cousin if you're not, by the way. So this is CGI. So what does an entirely CGI Lion King add as opposed to an entirely 2D animated Lion King? Well, for one, there's obviously the added realism. In theory, that could help with your investment in the story by really feeling like these characters are there in front of you. But for one, I can't really think of any CG movie or movie with CG where every single shot looked great. So those few shots that won't look great most likely are more likely to take you out of it a little bit at least. And then also, going with a more realistic 3D sort of animation really constrains you a lot more than the 2D animation did. 2D just gives you so much more leeway in how expressive the characters can be. When you're going for something that looks like it's supposed to be live action, you can only get so exaggerated in your animation. So again, I question where the advantage is in this aspect also. So really that just leaves me with the explanation that the reason for making this movie and seeing this movie is just the satisfaction of just doing and seeing the story again, in at least hopefully a slightly new light. Now, is that enough? For me, I really don't know. I'm gonna see it anyway, but is it enough for me to really enjoy it? Probably, I don't know. But all I do know is that this is probably going to keep going on with Disney remaking their old movies in live action, or whatever you want to call this one. It's pretty much the new circle of life. So let me know what you think, and if you're as confused as I am about how you feel about this movie coming up. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, be honest with yourself. Subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell to let your speeder sense tingle when I upload, hit all the buttons. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll try to see you next week. I've been really inconsistent, I know, I'm sorry.